the one BG was watching and listening, as always, and he says Gunther feels weirdly protected, but kept away from top guys like Cody, Roman, and Seth. If the guy who retired Cena and AJ can't get a world title push within 3 months, what's the point? If the belt doesn't matter for him, who does it matter for? What do you think, Kev?
I think that was the key to getting somebody over the stature of an Undertaker. You have a main event attraction that does not need the belt, that does not need in any form or fashion to be associated with the belt. He's
Right.
if you're and from a heel aspect, if Gunther has fucking tapped fucking Goldberg, Cena, and now AJ, and he's touting that, just going on and on and on. Then the next guy he fights is a guy in a mask. So
Oh, the little brawl during the
I,
promo
I'm just saying,
on Raw.
doesn't it make it seem like everybody that he's wrestling and beating are retirement matches. So you kind of get the guy at the end of his run. Yet he's acting like, he's hitting Nolan Ryan's best shit. There's a, there's that subconscious heat that's there. So
So you hear the term sometimes. We hear the term as fans. He was so over he didn't need a belt. Guys like Snuka. Like I don't think
yeah,
Snuka ever had a belt, right? But he was such a phenom that you truly didn't need to get him in that mix. I guess he was in the IC mix for a while in WWE.
yeah.
And then he
I think
feuded with
that Gunther's
Morocco.
Gunther's character. Uh, then he's got too much. He's got something to lose every night. You work completely different as a heel with a belt, because then you still got to make the guy, but then you've got to fucking sneak out by the hair of your teeth every night to keep the strap.
Mm, right.
Then that it doesn't fit his personality.
Good point.
Yeah.
On Raw, Gunther, um, I was thinking of you when he came out in Philly and spoke German
See,
and didn't do it where we
in
expected it
Germany, where you would get a
in Germany.
pop.
That's exactly that heel philosophy that you've
God,
been talking about with.
you would
Mhm.
almost think fucking that he and I think alike.
Well,
I know the
you've
guy
been
that
in the
I know.
business and you
Well,
worked as a heel.
I know the guy that writes the show, like the boss. Like we pretty much spent a couple of years together, and like I don't remember ever arguing with him about the business. I've never
But
had an
hold on, though.
I've never had an argument with Paul about the business.
Okay, point taken. However, this doesn't happen with everybody. The proper administration of heel heat, so we can make this sound like a very technical, maybe financial show. The application of proper heel heat is not always done this way, but we consistently are coming back to Gunther's run when you're pointing all this stuff out. And I could probably
because
come up with uh
because we have for the first time a fucking guy that actually has heat.
mm-hmm.
He's got heat. And it's the old Jody Hamilton when I broke into the business, who fucking was one of the best fucking selling heels at being a 300-pound guy under a hood,
Mm,
getting color through a fucking hood.
yeah.
Just one of the greatest workers of all time that I was blessed to be under his tutelage. But he was so advanced, as was Dusty, that when he saw somebody that could make it in the business, he could get somebody to teach me how to do a fucking hip toss. He was going to talk psychology. And that's the fucking whole deal. You
Right.
fucking, and I remember Jody talking about fucking heels. He says, problem with fucking when you're booking a territory and you're trying to get a heel over is the only way you get a heel over is at the expense of baby faces. And 99.9% of your prima donnas are going to want to be baby faces. So you're going to be walking into the fucking the babyface tent and saying, I need to get a couple fucking pints of blood. And they'll be like, again? Fuck! Because the heel knows that the fucking hot air balloon doesn't fucking rise with heat unless there's some fucking heat. Unless that fucking fire, the hotter that fucking fire is underneath that fucking hot air balloon, that's how fast that fucking that balloon's gonna go. So you got to keep the heat, and every time you shut that fucking heat off, it's gonna drop. So when you get heat on a character, you got to keep heat. You can't
Which brings
fucking
me to my next question. How do we keep this going for Gunther? We
don't
already
put him in
said
a don't put him in a. One of the ways you can do it is don't put him in a position where he has to fucking make it about a belt. Keep him in fucking things that are personal. Keep him in personal feuds.
right, because you'd be giving, but if you put him in a title angle right now, leading up to WrestleMania or beyond WrestleMania, if you constrain him to a title angle, then his heat is going to be hinged to that piece of metal
Absolutely. If you
as
fucking
opposed
beat
to
him,
his personality.
yep.
Yeah,
And if
right.
yeah, it's he's got because he already
Got it.
he already tapped. If I'm an AJ fan, he's already tapped out to AJ. Referee just didn't fucking see it. It's so much easier for the Baltimore Bills fans to stomach that fucking loss against Denver with that shit fucking call that everybody knows was a fucking catch and not a fucking takeaway from Denver. And they would have won that fucking game. It's much easier for people that are fucking Bills fans to stomach that because of that. Because I
Yeah.
wanted the I'm a Bills fan. I like the Bills. I want them to win.
You just said
And
Baltimore Bills. I thought we were talking about a sport
Buffalo
that I
Bills.
had never watched.
Did I say
And
Baltimore?
yeah, I panicked that, God damn it, there's a sport that I haven't watched that Kevin's going to bring up now, and I'm not going to be able to follow this. Okay.
It's the
Daryl Dawkins was on the pickleball, the Baltimore Bills pickleball team. I understand what you're saying, and
yeah.
I hope they do because it's a cool thing. Listen, at heart, we're wrestling fans. You weren't growing up, but you
I
have to be
was
because
growing.
you were in the.
I
You
grew
were
up
kind of
when I was a kid.
a kid, yeah.
When
But I like when something works still because we know so much about the business. We're jaded. So I like when there's a little something that's working the right way that we can invest time in. So I do hope the Gunther thing keeps going that way.